The assassination of the 35th President of the United States ushered in the age of TV news by giving people instant access to unfolding developments through moving pictures.
The flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
2 days after JFK's death, NBC aired continuous footage of the overnight public viewing. His funeral was then watched by approximately 180 million on television the next day. Millions later witnessed the shooting of sniper Lee Harvey Oswald in a real-time broadcast as well.
He's been shot. He's been shot.
If you know one thing about the fall of the Berlin Wall, it might be this.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Or this. Or maybe...
I've been looking for freedom.
These moments were huge in unifying Berlin and undermining the physical symbol of a divided Europe during the Cold War. After the Allied powers defeated Nazi Germany in World War II, they divided the country into 4 parts, each controlled by a separate power. These formed into 2 new countries in 1949, Democratic West Germany and Soviet-controlled Communist East Germany, officially named the German Democratic Republic, or GDR. Through the 1950s, West Germany prospered as a free society and industrious member of Europe, and hundreds of thousands of East Germans began emigrating west in search of new opportunities.
A lone B-29 was over Hiroshima carrying an atomic bomb.
The atomic bombings of these 2 Japanese cities during World War II remains the only time nuclear weapons were dropped during a global war. Thanks to footage captured by the U.S. War Department, few will ever forget the mushroom clouds that developed after the Little Boy and Fat Man bombs exploded over Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Everywhere I passed through, all the houses were destroyed.
The result was over 240,000 deaths, with newsreels capturing the aftermath. Things would never be the same.
Inside, the flash burns on the chairs give eloquent testimony on the heat of the blast a mile from zero point, which singed the mohair upholstery.
Publicly announced in 1946, the historical computer was often referred to as the Big Brain. It weighed around 27 tons, occupied 167 square meters, and consumed 150 kilowatts of electricity. In 1975, MITS released what was recognized as the spark that ignited the PC revolution, the Altair 8800. Running on an 8-bit Intel 8080 CPU and a 256-byte memory, the Altair was sold in build-it-yourself kits for less than $400. Instead of a keyboard, it had toggle switches for input, and its display consisted of nothing more than a front-facing panel with LED indicators. Designer Ed Roberts initially intended to sell a few hundred kits to hobbyists, but was taken by surprise after the sales were counted by the thousands in just the first month. At the time of its release, the Altair also grabbed the attention of 2 young programmers who would soon write the computer's first programming language, Altair Basic. In the years to come, the 2 young programmers would form a company that will make another epochal impact on the history of computing. The company's name was Microsoft. It didn't take long for personal computers to adopt characteristics that Xerox didn't commercialize with the Alto. One company that would follow that concept was Apple. In 1976, Apple released the Apple Computer 1, which was designed by Steve Wozniak. But the real boom from this company came 1 year later with the release of Apple II, the computer that would set the standards for PCs of the time. After being introduced in 1977 at the West Coast Computer Fair by Steve Jobs, it became one of the first highly successful mass-produced
Everyone remembers where they were, what they were doing, and what they felt when they heard news of the shocking Al-Qaeda terrorist attacks.
It appears that there is more and more fire and smoke enveloping the very top of the building.
Moments after the World Trade Center was hit, media outlets quickly picked up live feeds that glued worldwide audiences to their TV sets. So, when another plane crashed into the South Tower less than 20 minutes later, it was truly a moment no one will ever forget.
Oh my God, the plane just crashed into the building.
Coverage of the tragedy and its aftermath changed the way Western news was reported globally and became the lengthiest continuous news event to be covered in American television.
There was smoke everywhere and people are jumping out the windows. Over there, they're jumping out the windows.